Good morning, everyone. So for this class, if you can have a sturdy chair near you for a little bit of balance support if you need it. We need a lightweight scarf, and then have your usual things of water, medication, mobile phone, anything else that you might need during the class. I'll try and keep an eye on you as best I can, but obviously do please be careful and be aware of any pre-existing injuries. And if you find music motivating, then pop that on now, because it'll just be my voice during the class. Okay, let's get started. So as always, starting with our feet hip width apart, standing up in good posture, knees slightly soft, hands on the hips, and doing our little pelvic tilting. So we're flattening our back, tipping the tailbone under, and then we're gently arching the back, providing that's okay for your back. So we're rocking to and fro. You should feel that that movement in your pelvis actually has an effect higher up on your posture as well. Trying to work about kind of stacking good posture from the pelvis up. So you want to find your middle point where it should feel comfortable. You're not tipped too far either way. And then straighten up from there, imagining you've got your helium balloon coming out the top of your head, keeping you up nice and tall. And we're going to look over one shoulder and the other. Excellent. Come back to the middle and rolling the shoulders. Big exaggerated movement backwards. Trying to make sure that both shoulders are moving equally. Excellent. Really feeling it stretch out across the front of the chest. Good. We're going to come on to warming up our legs while working a little bit of balance. So feet in the same position. We're going to come up onto tiptoes. Then we're going to come into a little knee bend. Then we're going to pop our heels down. And then we're going to straighten our knees again. So up onto tiptoes, little knee bend, heels down, straighten up again. Tiptoes, knees, heels, and straight up. And then when you've got the hang of that, oh, someone else to let in, we're going to add in some arms. So whenever your heels are up in the air, we want your arms to come up in the air to shoulder height as well. So you've got knee bend and then your heels come down, so your arms float back down again. Exactly. If you need something for support next to you, in a bit of an unsteady position, then by all means have a chair or something sturdy. Good. If it's too much like patting your head, rubbing your belly to begin with, then just focus on the legs until you've got them, and then bring in the arms. Good, we'll do 5 more. I've lost track whether I'm on 4 or 5 more. Stop there. And shake it out. We're going to come out wide. So again, have something sturdy near you if you need to. Feet turned out to the corners of the room and wider than hip width apart. We're going to start by just coming down into our friend, the squat. So nice deep squat with back straight, chest lifted, and really trying to sink down into your heels. And then actually pushing back up through your heels more than you really need to do the movement, because that then wakes up your bottom muscles a little bit more than is actually necessary for the exercise. A bit of a bonus. Excellent. And then we're going to stay down. Bring our arms up in front. And if your back is okay, we're going to take a twist around. Now this is a bit destabilizing backwards. So again, just be cautious of balance. But the idea is that your hips stay facing forwards and your upper body is twisting around. Apologies if you can hear my neighbour out the window talking about topsoil. Hopefully Zoom is muting the background. And come back to the middle. And then we're going to come out of our squat to tap the foot to one side, back into the squat to tap to the other side. And try and take all of your weight on the one leg such that you can quite comfortably lift the other leg up. Excellent. Still think about your posture, so keeping your back nice and straight and your chest lifted. You're not sinking down into the movement too much. Now you can either have a rest, or you can stay here, keep going at this level, or you can come into squat, kick your chair, into the squat, and then coming up into as high a side kick as you dare. So whichever works for you. And really, providing you haven't got any injuries, really give it a good kick. Really think power through that heel. Good, excellent. So you're having to challenge your balance to stay on the one leg. Thighs and bottom should be burning a little bit from all the squatting. Good for your hip range as well. Do one more each side. And coming back into the middle. Keep your legs moving. Grab a drink if you need to. We're going to come into our marching next. Try and keep your legs moving while you drink. That's the extra challenge. So you can choose how you're feeling today, whether you want to stay marching here, but trying to make sure that both arms are swinging equally, or if you want to come up into a more powerful higher knees, elbows straight, fingers wide, driving the movement. Good, excellent power. Fantastic, we'll do 20 more seconds, whichever option you've chosen, and then we'll move on to our big amplitude movements. Not that this isn't, to be fair. And coming back down into a slower march while I talk through the next exercise, although you are all familiar. So standing with the chair behind you, feet hip width apart. We're going to move as if we're going to sit down on the chair, but we stopped just before. And start hands by your side and pushing out in front of you. So we're going to do wrists extended, fingers wide, elbows straight, chest still lifted, pause, and then pull back up with the same amount of power. And we go in repetitions of 5, pause, reflect on your effort level, and then we'll go for another set. Bonus points for shouting, stop as you drive your hands forward. And I can't hear you, so shout as loud as you can. Ready, and go. Good shouting. Pause and pull back up again. And pull back up again. Good. And last one. Excellent. Pause. Shake it off. Think about your effort level, whether you were putting in about 80% of the maximum effort that you possibly could. So we don't want injuries, but we do want really big power. Big movements and very powerful. Okay, another 5, ready, and go. Good. Good, so they're coming up just as important as they're going down. And 5. Excellent. Pause, shake it off. I'm going to do one more set of 5. Ready, and go. Big shouting from everyone but me. Last one. Fantastic. Shake it off. You can move the chair to one side because we'll be going sidestepping across the room. So for the next one, starting nice and tall and narrow, coming out into a wide step, shoulders back, so hands are behind your shoulders, together, second step, together, and then we'll go back the other way. Okay, ready, and go. You want everything to shudder as you stamp down and as you pull together. Excellent. Last length. Good. And pause, have a dance around, keep yourself moving. And when you're ready, heading back the other way. And go. Nice, wide, big, powerful movement. Good. Fantastic. Last length, I think, for most of us. Good. And pause. Shake it up again. We've got one more set of repetitions of this to go. Ready. And go. Enjoying when people have disappeared off screen and then come bursting back in. Excellent. Good, fantastic. Stop when you've finished your length. Keep yourself moving, but grab a drink if you need to. Very humid here today. Is everyone doing okay? Everyone all right? Thumbs up, middle down. Good. If it was the thumbs down, you can unmute and I can try and rectify whatever the problem is. Excellent. Okay, so feet wider than hip width apart, knees nice and soft because we're going to be rotating on the spot. Arms up, your 007 position. Any problems with your shoulders, you can come lower. And we're gonna go power, 90 degrees to one side. And then if your back is okay, we'll do a little extra twist around, back to 90 degrees, power, back to the center. And we'll do 6 so that we're even. So ready, and go. Any problems with your balance, again, grab a chair or something sturdy nearby. Fantastic. And you've done your 6, again, shake everything out, keep moving. Excellent 007s. is my dad's favourite of all the exercises because he likes to think he's James Bond. So soft knees again, hands up in front, ready and go. Pause and you get back to the middle, one more set in a second. Ready, arms up and go. Keep an eye this time, you keep your gaze following your hands. Good. To the middle. Again, if it is extra warm with you today, grab another drink. Certainly very warm here. We are next going to imagine that we've got a line on the floor in front of us, and depending on your hips, knees and balance, you can take a bigger or smaller lunge as you're comfortable with. But we're going to again start with our hands next to the body, and we're going to take a lunge forward, bursting out, hands behind your shoulders again, and we're going to stamp back together, making everything small and timid again. And again, bonus points for shouting. Anything will do. Rah! Whatever you want to shout. Work your speech muscles as well. Okay, and we'll do 6 again so that we're even both sides. So ready and go. Excellent shouting. And make your floorboard shake on the stamp. Good. You've done your 6, pause, reflect on your level again. Hopefully you feel you were getting it spot on, but if not, just try and add a bit more oomph on the next step. Ready and go. And again, power on the way back as well, so you're really pushing through that front foot to get you back and stamping. Good, and again, pause when you've done your 6, one more set. Is everyone that's disappeared off screen okay? Yeah, oh good, okay, excellent. See your head, fantastic. Okay, last set, ready and go. Get your last one, the most powerful yet. Fantastic. Good. Now the one that confuses us every time, so I'll demonstrate sideways. Again, we've got the line on the floor. Again, you can choose how much you lunge and how big a step you take depending on your balance, knees and hips. But we're going to do opposite arm and leg. So one arm's forward, one arm's back. And then we switch as we stamp. And then we're going to try and step round while smacking our thighs and go back the other way, trying to alternate, but that's where we all get in a tangle, including me. Okay, so ready and go. Pause when you've done your 6. That's excellent. Now, if you were choosing just one side to turn to, try and make sure that on the next set you turn in the other direction, because practicing turning is very important, especially with doing the stamping turns. And then, as I've said before, trying to minimise the number of steps that you're taking to turn around. So see if you can try and get around in around 4 to do your 180-degree turn. Just another thing to think about. Okay, ready and go. Good stretching, excellent. Good, pause when you've done your 6. One more set where we're going to get everything spot on. The turning in the right direction, a whole lot. Ready and go. Excellent. Fantastic. And when you've finished your set, have a very well-deserved drink. Do try and keep your legs moving at the same time if you can. For the next one, we need our scarf, handkerchief, whatever floating object you've chosen. Everyone there. Right, so to start, scrunching it up in one hand, we're going to stand in a wide split stance, and on the free arm, we're going to throw the scarf up in the air and snatch it back down again. And the important thing is to snatch more than anything. So an underarm throw, but then a really powerful snatch out of the air. Any problems with your balance, again, have a chair or something sturdy next to you for support. We're going to start with 5 on one side and then switch. And for an extra bit of challenge, once you've grabbed the scarf, see if you can bunch it up, scrunch it back into your hand with just the one hand. If you do need a bit of help from the other hand or your body, that's fine. But it doesn't matter if it takes a little while, but try and work on that dexterity of scrunching something back into your hand. Okay, everybody ready? So split your stance, scrunched up in your hand, and throwing underarm. Ready and go. And the slow scrunch. Good. When you're ready. So for this one, you've just totally got your own pace for the 5 repetitions, because we're all going to scrunch at different rates depending what object we've got. There's some excellent commitment to doing it one-handed there as well. Fantastic. When you've done your 5, switch sides, switch your leading leg. We've probably all done our dominant hand first. Ready and go. The facial expressions I'm pulling while scrunching are optional. Excellent. When you've done your final scrunch, you can pop your floaty thing down. And we're going to come back into a march again. So again, up to you whether you want to march here but with equal arms, or whether you'd like to go for a driving march, knees a bit higher. Excellent, we'll do 20 more seconds. And coming down into a slower march. Try and keep your legs moving if you can. We're going to add in some punching. So we're dual tasking, something different upper and lower body. So we're going to go punching out in front, punching to the side, punching up. Keep your legs moving. Excellent. Really think about power in each punch. And you do 2 more sets at your pace. And shake the arms off, but try and keep marching. Excellent. We're going to do some just walking up and down, which may seem like a slightly strange exercise, but the idea is that you're really thinking about how you're doing it. So for thinking about your posture, thinking about getting your heel in contact with the floor first and taking nice, big, powerful strides with an arm swing. So your arms are swinging opposite to the leg, soldier style. And then on the turns, you're taking really definite steps. So if this is something that's really easy to you, then you can go a bit faster to make it more aerobic as well. But sometimes there's these little subtle bits that you might not have noticed that have changed with Parkinson's. So on the turns, making sure you're again taking definite steps and trying not to take too many steps. See if you can turn in 4 steps. Fantastic, good. Do 30 more seconds. Hopefully you've all got bigger spaces to be doing it than me. Now back to the centre, find me, and grab a drink if you need one. we're going to do some exaggerated climbing the ladder. So that's to say high knees with alternating arms, but the arm, you probably can't quite see my hand, is actually reaching up to kind of grab the ladder and pull it down. So there's a bit of poetic license in our ladder climbing. Okay, if that's too difficult, then a smaller movement is absolutely fine, or just focusing on arms or legs. Ready and go. Really reaching out, so fingers are going wide to make your grab, and then you're pulling that down in a fist. That's excellent. If it feels easy, just see if you can drive a little bit, so push a little bit higher to grab. So you're really stretching out one side of the body tall as you can. Good, we'll do 30 more seconds. Pause if you need to and restart. Good. And slowing it back down into a march. Just reset yourself for a minute. For the next exercise, need a little bit of space behind you, because we're going to try taking a backward step where you turn the back foot to 90 degrees. So if that's going to unsteady you, have something sturdy next to you, and stepping back. So the legs are just doing a stamp backwards and stamp back to the middle. And you are actually shifting your weight onto that back leg. As you step back, and then we're going to add in a clap. So as you're stepping back, you clap, and as you step forward, if you can, click your fingers. And even if you feel you're not quite getting the coordination, just do it with confidence. Big stamps. Good. I think I get 2 into this one. Okay, now coming back together with a final click of the fingers and a stamp of the foot. Excellent. Following on from a bit of the coordination theme, we're going to do our Macarena again. So that is, the arms are palm down, palm up, elbow, elbow, head, head, waist, waist, bottom, bottom, and then either a mini squat or a wiggle, depending on your preference, followed by either a step round or a jump 90 degrees, where we'll do another Macarena, jump back to the middle so that we're never looking away from each other. I can practically hear some of the groans of people that I know have struggled with this exercise. So if you could, yes, so if you can manage the arms, we're going to add in legs as well. So you're trying to keep marching as we go. Okay, so ready, and palm down, down, up, elbow, elbow, head, head, hip, hip, bottom, bottom, wiggle or mini squat, step round or jump. And again, marching, palm down, down, up, up, elbow, elbow, head, head, hip, hip, bottom, bottom, wiggle or mini squat, and jump back to the centre. Keep going. Excellent, good. And wiggle on. That's it. Wiggle or mini squat, jump round, and again. Fantastic, good. Lovely jumping. The good news is when weddings open up again and they put on the Macarena, we'll all be good to go. Keep going. Good, and we'll do one final one in the centre together. And you're done. Excellent. So back into your march. And again, marching here or marching with power. We'll just do 30 seconds of whichever, and then we'll all come into a more gentle march together. So we're coming into balance next. So this is your last aerobic powerful bit. So really go for it. 5 more seconds. Good, and into a gentler march. We'll bring it down because we're going on to our couple of balance exercises, which, as we said before, you do want your heart rate down, otherwise your balance will be a little bit more all over the place. So do grab a drink again if you need to. We'll be going on to standing on one leg. So do you have something sturdy near you, even if you've got good balance? Just so you've got that extra bit of reassurance. And we're all going to be lifting one leg up behind you, thinking tall thoughts, standing on one leg. If that feels okay, then try turning your head as you do that. If that feels okay, you can close your eyes, keep your head still. And if that's still too easy, then try closing your eyes and turning your head at the same time. The idea is that we want to find something where your ankle is having to work that a little bit harder and you can feel the muscles in your foot and ankle really going for it. So try and get to a level where you're safe, but you are feeling challenged and that you're a little bit unsteady. Excellent, and then switch legs. Okay, we've probably all done our favourite leg first. There's something sturdy near you, trying to stand up on one leg. And it might be enough to be there. If it's not enough of a challenge, try turning your head or closing your eyes. A reminder for one of you that you felt nauseous when you closed your eyes and turned your head before. So avoid that one. Some of you look like you're having a very relaxing time. If it's still too easy with the eyes closed and the head turning, And you can always try coming up onto the ball of your foot and then doing the same. Good, and I'm going to switch back to the first leg. And as I say, we want you to be working your ankle and foot. And if you're a bit more unsteady, then it might be that your hip has to do a little bit more, if it's throwing you off balance a bit more, or if you need to step, that's absolutely fine, because it's all working your reactions to when your balance is disturbed. So it's all good. And switching back to the first leg. Fantastic. Good. Coming up to the middle, we've got our heads, shoulders, knees, and optional toes. So you can either stay on 2 legs, bringing them together will be more of a challenge than having them apart, and just going for head, shoulders, and then a little mini squat with your back straight to get to knees. That's fine. You might feel that you can go onto 1 leg and go head, shoulders, and then you do a little tip forward. So you're hinging at the hips to get you to knee. Come back up, head, shoulders, knee. If that feels okay, and you're confident you've got something steady nearby, then going for head, shoulders, tip forward to knee, and then tip down to toes, coming back up again. So keeping your back straight so you're not putting an unnecessary strain on your back, and it's a hinge from the hips. So whichever works for you, and alternate sides as well. Okay, ready and go. No, I haven't left myself enough space with the wall. You have problems with dizziness on getting up from the floor, obviously don't go lower than knees, please. And we'll do 1 more each side. Fantastic. Grab a drink when you're ready and we'll come into our stretches. Okay, so nice wide stance. Coming down into a kind of half squat position and then taking 1 arm up over your head so that we're creating a nice line down one side of the body, straight knee. Good. And the other way. And again, back the other way. Fantastic. Back to the middle. We're going to plant 1 foot on the floor, leave it there flat, front knee straight. We're going to bend the back knee and hinge forwards from the hips, taking the tailbone out towards the wall behind you. And you should feel a stretch in the back of your straight thigh, keeping that back nice and straight. You always need to hold it a bit longer than it feels like you need to. Excellent. Then we're going to bring, if you can, the toes of that foot up towards you so you feel it down the whole of that leg. Excellent. Coming up straight and circling that ankle one way. Hold on if you need to, it's not about your balance now. And then the other way. And we'll try what we did last week. We're thinking about capitals A, B, C and D. Try and spell out A, B, C and D with your big toe. We're trying to write the letters in the air. A, B, C and D. Good. I can't see your feet, I'm assuming you're doing that. And then taking that same leg back behind you. Both feet facing forwards, but now back knee is straight, front knee is bent, and leaning forwards until you feel a stretch in that back calf. Good. Coming up, the other leg, planting that foot flat on the floor in front of you, front knee straight, back knee bent and hinging forwards from the hips. So you can feel it in the back of your straight thigh. This is where I need to be able to sing for entertainment. And then bringing the toes up. So you feel it down the whole of the back of that leg. Good. Coming up, circling the ankle in one direction. And then the other. And then with this toe, we're going to try, let's do A, B, C, D again. It's more concentration than you might think. Fantastic. And then stepping that leg back behind you. Feet pointing forwards. Back knee straight, front knee bent. And lean into the point of calf, stretching the back leg. Excellent. Coming up, grab hold of something if you need to. Try and see if you can grab hold of your foot. You want your hip to be nice and open. So you're a straight line down the front and trying to bring your foot towards your bottom, stretching out the quads at the front of the thigh. Good, and the other leg. Excellent. Coming back to the middle, bringing your arm across your chest and then applying a little bit more pressure with the other arm so that you feel a bit of a stretch in your shoulder. Don't let your shoulder come up towards your ear. So then, and the other arm. Lovely, and then palms on your lower back, upper buttocks, squeezing your elbows together. So you're opening up through the front of your chest, giving the front of your chest a bit of a squeeze. And relax, and it kind of forces you into a very upright posture. Good. And relax, and one more squeeze. And relax, shake the arms off, and we'll come into our little knee bends with sweeping arms. Any problems with taking a deep breath, don't worry, but otherwise, as you come up, take a deep breath in and breathe out on the way back down. And one more for luck. And you're finished.